knowledge. They were under the illusion that they knew what the market was going to do, that was going to go down based on what they read about or what they heard about, and it didn't happen and it wasn't happening. That's trading with the illusion of knowledge, and it's the biggest enemy of knowledge. All right? You're trading something you think, and it's not right. Okay, so that causes a lot of losses for folks. All right, now I'm going to talk about the SPY Super System. We have all of the indicators are color coded that we're going to look at. Green is bullish strong, blue is a bullish trend, red would be bearish strong, and yellow is a bearish trend. That's all we need to know when we look at the indicators on the SPY Super System to see what they're doing. We can get into more details, but that's what you want to remember. All right. Okay, so this is I'm going to show you a couple of charts here. This is the SPY Super System. This isn't the one. I've actually modified it since then, so I'm going to show you that. We just changed it a little bit this week, but here's what you've got on here. You've got the current time frame momentum right here. Right, so this is the time frame of whatever chart you're looking at. It's a 5-minute chart. This is the current time frame momentum of on the 5-minute. Tells you what the institutions are doing on this particular point in time. This is multiple time frame. Now, the multiple time frame is looking at 3 different time frames, what they call fractal. In the 5-minute chart, this is looking at the 5, the 15, and the 45, and it's telling you whether the institutions are in it or not in it, or if it's just chopping around. For intraday trades, very quick trades, this is what you focus on, because you're only going to stay in the trade for a few candles. If you're trading a swing trade, when you're looking at your daily chart, these 2 indicators need to be aligned. They both need to be green or blue for long, red and yellow for short. Right? So if this was a daily chart, you couldn't take this stock long or short because it doesn't align. This is the long-term trend. Same colors. Now up on the price portion of this, there's a few things that are critical. This is the VWAP, the volume weighted average price. This is something that all the institutions use. It's a support resistance level. This is one of our major ones that we use to get into trades on a 5-minute basis. This is not the pivot. This VWAP is not effective on a daily chart. It's only effective on like a 5-minute or 15-minute chart, right? But I use it on the 5-minute. The next thing we have here is the 15 EMA. That's this little green line here. Right? 15 EMA which is what it says. It's a 15 exponential moving average. That's also another support resistance level, right? And here we have pop out of the box symbols. These pop out of the box symbols are arrows that indicate not only is the stock moving up, but it's breaking compression. Compression break is a very helpful method to get into a trade. So that's what that tells us here. This is the market internals. This tells us whether the whole market, the whole S&P, the whole New York Stock Exchange is moving up or moving down. If it's moving up green, it's very strong. If it's moving up blue, it's fairly strong. And then obviously red and yellow, the opposite directions. This tells us at any point in time during the day what the overall market trend is, right, to trade with. And one other thing here is this pivot point. This pivot point is the only pivot point I use. It's very effective. It becomes a support or resistance level. All right, and again, I just put this on here. This is the current market conditions. This was a newly added feature, so that's why I put it in here. This tells us what the overall trend is of the whole New York Stock Exchange. Okay, this is a template we also get. If you buy the software, you get this template here, and you also get this template here. This is just for folks who are trading intraday trades. They just want to trade 5-minute off the 5-minute candles or the 2-minute candles or the 15-minute candles. This is all you need. You don't need the multi-time frame or trend. You don't need any of that. This is all you need. So you can get this template and you can flip-flop them back and forth during the day from one to the other. All right, so that's just so you just know that's available. Now, I did update. I just updated the last 2 weeks. I've updated the SPY Super System chart layout. I'm going to show you what I added. I haven't really had time to do a video on it yet, but I'm going to show you some of these enhancements help you trade and can help you trade. It's been optimized for clarity and precision. There's been things removed to clean up the chart. The addition of the 8 exponential moving average. This is important. The 8 exponential moving average provides improved signal confirmation and trade timing for both entries and exits. Right? This is really, really important, and it's going to help a lot. Okay, this is what the new layout looks like. Right? You notice that the 15 EMA is right here. It's still here. It's the green line. But see, the 8 exponential moving average has been put in here, right here. All right, this has been added to it, right? And these two lines can work in conjunction with each other. We'll talk about that a little bit. But when the 8 it crosses up through the 15, it's a bullish signal. And when the 8 crosses down through the 15, it's a bearish signal. So that's one of the things that we can lean on. But one of the things that's most important about the 8 and 15 combination, and this is true on a 5-minute chart and it's true on a daily chart. When a stock price breaks through coming down, let's say you're long a stock, and it breaks through the 8 and comes down below it, I don't exit there. I wait for the 15 to see if it supports, because many, many times when the stock price breaks through the 8, it'll hit the 15 and bounce right back up again. And this happens a huge amount of times. So this gives us a little bit more flexibility in our trades to stay in them for a long or a short, longer than we normally would. So I love using these in combination, both on the 5-minute chart and the daily chart. Everything else here is pretty much the same. These indicators are the same as they were. This is actually the indicator itself, the modified Laguerre. This is an oscillator that has the divergence stripped out. This only shows real momentum. Right? So this is what the charts look like when we look at the software. I'm going to go to a live chat here a little bit later. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. But here's your VWAP, your 15, and your 8. All right? This is how you intraday trade off of this kind of information. Okay. This is a trade I just want to point out. This is a 5-minute chart. This was an NVIDIA trade we took off of a 5-minute chart. These are with the new indicators with the 8 and the 15 right here. You notice right here, the current time frame momentum, which is what we're interested in. You notice that it goes from yellow to yellow-red. This is bearish. Institutions are selling. Notice it pops to blue right here. Institutions are now starting to buy. You can see the indicator moving up. They start to buy right here, right? You see where we are? We're right at the VWAP. Stock price coming right off the VWAP, bouncing up. This is where you get in. Get in right here or right here. One of these two levels is where you get in. As it breaks above the VWAP and it breaks above, and notice the 8, the white line, notice that it's crossing the 15. This even adds even more conviction to this trade. So this is where you would take the trade here right here, and you ride it up. Just as long as it stays above the 8, you stay in it. And then when it starts to lose momentum, you get out. Notice it switched back to yellow here. You're out of the trade. But that's a nice trade. That was about $2.50, $250 a contract on calls on NVIDIA right there. All right. Hopefully that you can see that clearly. All right. This is another trade we took on the SPY. I don't show the entrance and exit, but I just want you to see. We go from bearish to bullish right here. Notice we're breaking above the VWAP with the pop out of the box symbol. And this is moving up. This is before I actually had the 8 on here. But this was off the 15, and the VWAP works extremely well. That was another nice trade. Okay. And this was a Tesla trade. We took it first thing in the morning. It goes bullish immediately. We take it on this pop-up as it breaks above the VWAP. We ride it up here, and as soon as it starts to fade, Matt, notice it goes to yellow. We're out of the trade. So that's how we intraday trade these. Okay. This was a trade we took on NVIDIA. This is a swing trade, right? It's a swing trade. Now, remember, in a swing trade, your current time frame and your multi-time frame both need to be bullish or bearish. They're both bullish right here. What we did was we wait for the stock to pull back to the 15 on the daily, and then we enter right here, and we get out right here, right? That was another nice trade. That's a swing trade. That's trading off a daily chart. And this is an SMR trade that we took. Again, this is a swing trade. Notice it went from selling to buying right here. The current time frame, the multi-time frame was already indicating buying. We take it right there and move it up to the side. Upside. That was a pretty nice trade in SMR. Getting in on 513, out in 515, 56% profit. 2,000 invested, produced $1,170 profit. Pretty nice trade. But again, I want you to see how these indicators are used. Okay. This was Wendy's. This was a short. I'm not going to show too many of these, but this is when we took it. Notice that they're buying here. They switch to selling. We take it here. We write it down overnight, and we're out. Okay, so those are what the indicators are. We're going to get into those a little bit after we go over the Hiken ashi here. This I just saw as kind of a little humor. This is what a trader looks like when they're trading emotionally. We use several different option strategies here. Trades, again, reversal has taken place, right? We're going to look at that here in just a second. Flat bottom, a little over 50, which is actually pretty good, a little over 50,000. Okay, now we're going to talk about Hiken ashi candles. Any questions before I get into these Hiken ashi candles? Because I'm going to show you some live charts with these as well. Okay. All right, so Hiken ashi. This is a candlestick chart. These are Hiken ashi candles. It says British pound, Japanese yen, doesn't matter. Could be Microsoft, could be gold, could be silver, could be anything. Could be oil, could be Tesla. But these are what the candlesticks look like. And it's really important to understand. This is the most important thing to know about Hiken ashi candles. Bearish Hiken ashi candles have flat tops, just like these. These are bearish. This is a bearish trend using Hiken ashi candles. You get flat top, flat top. Notice, no wicks on these things. They're coming down. These are bearish Hiken ashi candles. Bullish Hiken ashi candles have flat bottoms. This is important to understand this. Flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. You can see trends very easily. It takes a lot of the noise out of the market. Now, notice one other thing. You notice that on the chart, the candlesticks, each candlestick starts in the middle of the previous candlestick, right? Starts in the middle, starts in the middle, starts in the middle. That's because of the way they're constructed. They always start in the middle of the previous candlestick, right? Always. So those are Hiken ashi candles, bearish and bullish. Now, what we're looking for, ideally, with Hiken ashi candles is a reversal. We're trying to find a stock that's bullish. It's pulling back, or bearish and moving up. But bullish and pulling back, like we like this stock long, it's coming back hard. We're looking for it to find a support level. And then we're looking for a Hiken ashi reversal candle to the other direction. And the reason this is important is Hiken ashi candles, once you get a reversal, because of the candle itself, the way it's constructed, they are confirmation of the reversal. They will confirm that the reversal has taken place, right? We're going to look at that here in just a second. Now, one other caveat. When the trend that you're trying to reverse is very strong, like this, big candles, you don't take the reversal on a small candle. These candles are nice, and this looks like a Hiken ashi reversal right here, okay? See the flat bottom. But see how small this candle is in respect to these, okay, relationship to these. So this isn't something I would take. Now, it worked. You could get in here and ride it up here and get out. But this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a pullback, and I'm looking for a big Hiken ashi candle for the flat bottom. That's a Hiken ashi reversal. That's bigger than these, as big or bigger than these candles. This is where you get it right here. All right, this is your reversal. This is a Hiken ashi reversal candle for getting long the stock. And you can see how nicely this thing worked. Flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. Keeps moving up, keeps moving up, keeps moving up. Beautiful trend, not a lot of noise. That's what you're looking for Hiken ashi reversal to go back into an original trend, and it's major, major help to trading. I'll show you some Hiken ashi candles on daily charts here in a bit, and you'll see how beautiful these things are for swing trades. Okay? Really, really important for swing trades. So there's your Hiken ashi candles. Again, flat top, bearish, flat bottom, bullish. Right? So again, distinctions of Hiken ashi candles. The bullish Hiken ashi candles have flat bottoms. The bearish Hiken ashi candles have flat tops. My point is that these candles' flat bottoms is confirmation of a trend. Correct. Yeah. If the flat bottom, for example, flat bottoms are bullish, that is confirmation of a trend. I mean, as long as the candles stay with flat bottoms, as you won't repeats one after another, yeah, that you would stay in it. It's in the you're still in the trend. It's a bullish trend. Correct. Does Hiken ashi candles work on tick or range or charts? Hiken ashi candles will work on any candlesticks that you've got. They work on 1 minute. They work on 5 minute. They work on daily. They work on weekly. They work on monthly. They work on any particular thing you're doing. I've never used them on a tick, but I'm sure they do. Tick is very hyper scalping. Okay, John. So that Hiken ashi candles, again, this is what you want to remember. The Hiken ashi candles, the bullish ones have flat bottoms. The bearish ones have flat tops, right? And kind of aside here, if you're used to using regular candles, for example, if you look at a bullish candle, regular candles, and the bullish candle has a big wick on the top, where where the buyers drove the market price up and then it pulled right back again, that gives you some reason to pause as far as being long. Heikin-Ashi candles aren't like that. Flat bottom candles that are bullish, that have wicks on the top, are more bullish than the ones without the wicks. Okay? Bearish Heikin-Ashi candles have flat tops, and bullish Heikin-Ashi candles have flat bottoms. Or again, the bullish reversals are identified by flat top Heikin-Ashi candles, followed by flat bottomed. And they don't have to be one right after the other. There can be some dojis in between. And bearish Heikin-Ashi reversals are identified by flat bottomed Heikin-Ashi candles, followed by flat top Heikin-Ashi candles. Right? This is the main thing that I use it for, which is to identify reversals, because that's where I want to enter the trade. And then I'm trying to get into the trade at the very best possible time. All right. So again, this is just going to talk about what we just talked about a little bit. This is a chart with the same information we look for. And here again, here's the bearish Heikin-Achis, followed by bullish, but again, not big enough. Now let's say this blue line right here was like the VWAP or one of your support resistance levels, and you're looking to go long the stock. You see how it comes down. You see you get a Heikin-Ashi reversal candle here that pushes right through it. There's your entry right there. That's your entry. As it breaks through there, you can take it. Now, it's important to also understand on Heikin-Ashi candles, once that candle is created, if you're on a 5-minute chart, once it's created and you're more than 2 or 3 minutes into the 5-minute candle, the likelihood that bullish candle is going to remain that way at the end of the 5 minutes is extremely high. Once you've created a Heikin-Ashi candle partway through the actual candlestick time, it's likely going to stay there. So a lot of times you don't actually have to wait for the candle to finish forming like you would with a regular candle. But see how you get in right here as it breaks above that if we call it the VWAP, and you see the nice move you had here. Now, as long as it stays above the VWAP, you would stay in the trade. Then you would follow this, and you would stay in it as long as momentum is maintained. And you have really tremendous momentum here. Now, notice we're getting a little hesitation here. You might you may take profits right here, or you might wait. But you got to get cautious. Now it moves up again, and now you're definitely out. Once you get the wicks and the tails, and then the flat bottom, here's a Heikin-Ashi bearish reversal after this trend, you're out of the trade. You're out of the trade right there. All right, that's what you're looking for. Okay, does that make sense to everybody as far as what we're looking for here? Heikin-Ashi reversals for confirmations of a return to the original trend that you're trying to get into. Seems more elegant solution for trades. It is a more elegant solution for trades. It's I mean, you can't use it all the time. If you're in a choppy market, for example, and you're trying to do a quick trade on the SPY, bouncing up to like the VWAP or something, if the market's very, very choppy, a lot of times if you wait for Heikin-Ashi candle, you're going to miss part of the move. And if you're in a really choppy market, you may need to take the profits pretty quickly. But if you're in any kind of a trending type move, waiting for the Heikin-Ashi reversal is really, really helpful because it is inherently its confirmation of the break. Okay? All right, so there's Heikin-Ashi candles. Again, we went over this. We already did this one. The advantages of the Heikin-Ashi candles, it smooths out price action, reducing noise. Okay? Makes identifying trends much easier. John, can I get a recording so you can go back to listen again? Yeah, they'll send a recording out to everybody who registered for the webinar. Yep. So again, it smooths out price action, reducing noise. This is very helpful. If you're a trader and you've been trading, you know that those little 5-minute candles, you're green, you're in a long trade, and you get this scary 5-minute candle. It reduces that noise, and so it's going to take some of the emotion out of your trading. And that's really what you want. It makes identifying trends much easier, obviously. Improves identifying confirmation of trends or trend reversals. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. And it helps identify potential exits when candle bodies shrink or reversals occurs. Now, personally, when I'm in a trade and I'm thinking of getting out, I usually switch to regular candles. In other words, I've got a big enough profit. I don't want to push it too long. Then I'll switch to regular candles so they don't have to wait for 2 candles to create the reversal back the other direction. And I'll exit at that point. Okay. I'm going to show some charts. This is TC2000. This is a charting program I use for charting. I use this for charting. I do this for some technical analysis. I like it better than Thinkorswim for my charting, but I don't have any indicators on here like I do with SPY Super System. So I have to have the SPY Super System to tell me if the institutions are in the trade. But this is a chart of Uber, just that I made a graphic of. But this is, look at May 1st right here. This is 2023, but it doesn't matter. This is a Uber. And you see this pop, and then this pop like this. Very difficult to take a trade after a gap up like that. Now, look at the same chart. Here, look at May 1st, okay? Look at May 1st right here, right? These are Hiken Ashi candles for Uber. You see what you get here? Now, you see the Hiken Ashi bearish trend? Flat top, flat top, flat top, flat top, doji, flat bottom. Hiken Ashi candle, reversal, boom. You take this. This is where you take the trade, right here. Take the trade right here, which is what, May 1st. And then you get flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. This is where you ride that trade up. And then you start to get a little leery because the candles start to get tiny, and then you're out right here, okay, as it flattens out. But look at the difference. This is where you would have got in the trade. If you were using Hiken Ashis, you wouldn't have been concerned about it. You would have taken the trade right here, right? And then you would, boom, and you get that big, huge move up the next day. Yeah, it smooths out the noise because of the gapping, RJ. That's exactly right. There's no gaps on Hiken Ashi candlestick forms, right? The gaps are filled because it's using two candles to create it, right? And I'm going to show you some trades here. I'm going to show you some setups. I'm going to show them to you in Thinkorswim on the SPY Super System. I'm also going to show you on TC2000 because that's where I find a lot of my swing type trades. Okay, so let's take a look at some live Hiken Ashi reversals. I'm going to bring up my live chart here for the SPY Super System. Where is it? Right here. Okay, so this is a live chart. This is my SPY Super System on my screen. This is what if you're in the room every day, this is what you see. You see all the indicators. You see the couple. This is a relative strength scan, relative weakness scan. It comes on a 5-minute or a daily, and this is what's called the bullish Laguerre. This is what I use for finding swing potential trades. Okay, so this is the close yesterday on the market on the SPY, right? And I want you to notice one thing right here. This was late in the day yesterday, right? I took a trade here. See how it went from yellow selling to blue buying right here on the SPY? I took it right here because notice that it's above the 15, it's above the 8, it's above the VWAP. It broke right through the VWAP right here at 305. And a bunch of people in the room took this one as well. So it breaks above the VWAP right here on 1505. And then it moves up, moves up, moves up, moves up. Get a red candle, you're out. You're out, you're out. From this went right here, basically from 682 to 684. That's $2. That's a $2 move. So easy, very easy to get a $100, $150 a contract on that move off the SPY. And let me show you one other thing. Let me switch this over to Hiken Ashi candles. All right, so let's go to candle type Hiken Ashi. All right, here's the switch here. If you look, and let me just zoom in on this a little bit. All right, so let's go back here. See this wicket? See this tail here? See the flat right here? You can't take it because it's yellow. But then the next one, you get another flat bottom. This is where you take the trade. Hiken Ashi reversal right there. Take the trade right there as it breaks above the VWAP. You got institutions buying, and you ride it up. Okay, so that's how we use that. Okay, I want to show you one other thing here on GLW. Again, this was GLW. This was a swing trade that we had on. Let's go back and take a look at the daily chart because it was a swing trade, so we were interested in the daily chart. All right, so this is where we took it. Right here. You see this? Where we took it right here. I think we took it here. Yeah, we took it here. See, we have green and green, right there on 1029. Take it right there. We've been in this trade several times, by the way, but we rode this thing up, and we get out yesterday on this big pop. And this got us out right here at about 35%, 35 or 40% gain. We took it right here on this move up, but we were out before it pulled back again. And this has been a good stock to trade. As you go back and look at it over here, you see here's another entry right here. It's been a very, very beautiful chart. And we'll talk a little bit more about that one. All right, so but a couple of them I picked out to look at was this is QS. These are potential swing trades based on Hiken Ashi candles. All right, so here's QS from yesterday. This is the daily chart right here. Notice it's bullish, multi-time in current time frame, bullish, and flat top, flat bottom. Hiken ashi reversal, much bigger than these candles. Beautiful entry on this. All right, so that's what we look for. And I have to say that this VWAP right here is not on the. You can't use this on the daily chart. I need to get rid of that because we're not really interested in that. But notice the 8's still there, which we use, right? But that's a Hiken ashi reversal on QS. It was also a nice one on CNX yesterday, right there. But you see something about CNX. Let's look at CNX. Looks like a nice Hiken ashi reversal. See this? Can't take it. You cannot take a swing trade in CNX just because of Hiken ashi reversal, because the multi-time frame momentum is still kind of bearish. Okay, it's slightly bearish, so it is not the very high probability trade setup that we would normally take. And Cisco, beautiful trade in Cisco. Another nice one to take out. Right, so that's what we're looking for. So we can use them on 5-minute charts for intraday trades. We can use it on daily charts for swing trades. Right, now I'm going to, I want to share my TC2000 screen with you as well. This is the TC2000 right here. This is what I use for doing my technicals, because I can see a lot more stuff on here. I can see the 200-day moving average is purple, the 100-day moving average is blue, the 50-day moving average is red. So I can, when I'm looking at a trade for more technical information, this is what I use. It's a nice charting program. But let's look at QS. We looked at QS, all right? It's QS, right? So here's my chart on QS. These are regular candlesticks, right? Let's switch to Hiken ashi candlesticks. There's the breakout right there, right? Nice breakout in QS. Got Cisco on Hiken ashi. Cisco. This is what's called a Hiken ashi continuation. Right? This is not a reversal. This is a continuation. You get a nice move up, and you're getting a continuation to the upside. Because this is not a reversal. It's just a continuation. But the continuations are good as well. There's MBB. This is, again, another continuation of Hiken ashi reversal. So those are some that I found on here. Now, on the short side, tough to find a lot of shorts yesterday. Markets had a pretty big run up. AMH, American Homes. Hiken ashi reversal right here, followed by a doji, followed by a continuation to the downside. That's a nice downside trade right there. And if we look at the look at the daily chart, there it is right there, AMH. And we would just confirm it on the TOS program, the SPY Super System, to make sure it's okay. All right, and ABBV is another one. Here's ABBV. Looks good for a short. Let's see what it looks like on Thinkorswim. Take a look at the SPY Super System on ABBV. Okay. Whoops, that's not it. There we go. Okay, so there's ABBV as a short. Is it a good short? It sure is. It's a good short. Beautiful Hiken ashi reversal. If I switch to regular candles, it's still going to look really good. All right. So that's how I find these things for swing trades and for intraday trades. That's what you're using here on your 5-minute chart to do intraday trades as well. Maybe you liked it short yesterday during the day. You could have tried to go back and see if you can find a level. And just go back and see if you can find a level where it was a good short. And it's pretty choppy, actually. It's gapped down. It's pretty choppy. Not too many really good entries on ABBV during the intraday trade, but it's a nice swing type trade. It's okay right here, but not great. Okay, so that's what we look for. All right. Does the SPY system allow for scanning, e.g. Screening top 10 stops fitting the criteria? The criteria, see, one of the things is, and I talk about this in the room a lot, one of the criteria that you need to make sure the trade's really high probability is you've got to know what the market context is. Is it a choppy market? Is it a trending market? All of that stuff makes a difference. And you don't know that. It's very difficult to program anything like that. I do that. I try to do that with the market in terms. But what I'm looking for is these, for example, cascading up. These shows me stocks that have got relative strength to the market, so I can look through those. Now, I do have some TC2000 scans that are looking for some Hiken action reversals and things like that that are breaking up through the like the 8s moving up to the 15, something like that. I've got those, and so I find them here. But those are very difficult to program here in Thinkorswim, so I depend on that. But these give us a lot of high probability products. And it's basically when you're trading, when this list comes up, you can just click on them, and it'll go directly to the chart and show you what that particular chart looks like. You can see all your indicators on that chart. Okay. All right. So that kind of covers Hiken action candles. I hope you found that information useful. They really are a big help, I believe. Okay, so we looked at some Hiken action reversals. All right, so that covers Hiken action. Right now, we're going to talk a little bit about the results that we've had in the trading room over the last few years. Show some specifics about that. Then we'll talk about some specific charts again. We'll go over those so we can re-emphasize that. And then we'll get to the end and we'll talk about the options you've got to become a member of the room or the alert service or buy the software. The software is excellent. Okay. These are our results from 2003. This went back to 2003. Hold on just one second. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. And now let's move ahead here. Hey, Barbara, thank you very much. Okay, so we'll take a look at the results and see what we've done with the room and the alert service. Again, and again, this was using $2,000 per trade back in 2023, 60,208, 5,017 per month. 2024, about 55, 45.81, a little bit lower. Again, a lot of the profitability is dependent on the actual market. If you've got a trending market, it's going to be a lot better than on trending markets. 2025, this is up so far up through September, 47.7. Again, this is the best monthly rate so far of all the years we've done. It's about 53.07 again versus 45.81 in 5,017. All right, and I just want to point this out. This was back in April when they put the tariffs on and then took the tariffs off. These are the 4 trades we had on in the room and in the alert service. We only had 4 trades on. Tariffs went on, tariffs came off. We had Broadcom. We get in for about $75 a contract, get out for $1.04, 39%. We had Nike. This was a huge one for us, get in for $285, out for $9. 216% profit. This was, again, we were helped by the tariffs going on because Nike makes all their products in Vietnam. So that was a big move. This is not normal. We don't normally make this much on the trade. And then we had Sarepta in at 450, out at 8. And we had NNE. These are the only 4 trades we had on. This was 25%. These are the only 4 trades we had on. And they were all bearish, of course. We were short all of these. Okay. Looking at this year, this is June of 2025. I was on vacation for a couple of weeks. The trade count's lower. 10 wins, 1 loss, 91% win rate, 37.90. July, lots of trades in July. 30 wins, 3 losses, 91% win rate. That was a big month for us, a little over 16, almost 17,000 in profits if you put 10,000 into each trade. All right, August, 20 and 4, 84% again. So you see the win rate stays about the same. I'm not going to bore you too much with all this stuff. This was September. We just wrapped up September, 21 and 4, 84% win rate, $4,744. Okay, and I'm going to just run through these real quickly. This was January of 2024. The only reason I really keep these up here is to show what the percentage gains is. I want everybody to be clear that you're not making 200, 300, 400, 500% on a trade. These trades don't have, they have much more manageable, much smaller gains. They're going to run anywhere from 10 to about 50, 60%. Sometimes you'll get a 96 or 100 or something like that, but generally it's 25, 30, 35, 40% trade after trade after trade after trade. Right? January, February, you're going to see the same things here. This was a pretty big month here, 92% win rate. The alerts that month had were 20 and 2, 69.30. There's May, just jumping around here, but you can see these were time spreads. These are what we do over earnings. See what they produce as well. Okay, June, 86%, 85% in July, August, 89%. September, this was my losing month last year. So I like to point out, people need to be aware that you can have losers. We do have some losers, but this was September last year. 8 wins, 5 losses, 62% win rate, embarrassing to me. Lost 1786. The room lost $295. But right back in October, boom, $7,400 profit in the room, 6,000 profit on the alert service. Really nice recovery. Okay, so I won't go over all of these. Again, I had these in before, but as we've come through, you've seen what we've done here. You can see we got 85 to 90% for the most part win rates, making decent money every month. Okay. Now this is the, just so you know what the alerts look like when you get them. It's going to have the date of the alert right here. The stock, this was Nike, by the April 11/67. So this is your expiration date. This is your strike price. And what you pay for it, about $285. And then you get, that's the first alert you'll see. That's all you'll see. Then you get another one that'll say that, but it'll say sell order for 9. And then you'll get another one that said they were sold for 9 on April 3rd. Okay, and there could be other ones in between if we adjust the sell price. But that's what the alert service looks like. Okay, and how do we achieve such stunning results? Obviously, we're able to identify when institutions are driving a trade and when the market internals are heavily bullish and bearish. And we only take trades, generally speaking, when both of those are in our favor. All right. Again, we're looking at triple screen assessment, looking across multiple time frames for momentum trend, and we do some analysis on money flow as well. Okay. So again, here's the charts. Let's look at these again. Here's the chart that was with the 8. This is the current one. Is the 8 exponential moving average on the 5-minute. Here's the 15. Is the VWAP, the volume weighted average price. Here's your indicators. Here's your pop signals for breaks out of compression. And here's your market internals. That's all you need. Daily chart, a 5-minute chart to find when the institutions are in there and find the very highest probability trade setups. Okay. Again, this was the old one. This is the new one. This is the one that was that I don't use anymore, but some folks are still using it. It has the 15 and it has the VWAP. It does not have the 8 on it. We use the 8 now. And again, the 8's very helpful because a break of the 8 up to the 15 is a buy signal. Okay. And this is the format again of the SPY Super System format with just the current time frame momentum. The folks that are mostly just doing very, very quick trades. Okay. And this was a SPY Super System reversal here. This was a trade we took. Notice that this is a Hiken ashi reversal right here. As it breaks down below the 15, you take it right here and you write it down, and you could just stay right in this trade. It never broke back up above the 15. You just stay right in it. And the SPY Super System I would talk about briefly. This is for folks who want an intraday trade. This is for intraday trades off a 5-minute chart. Well, you can do it off a 2-minute chart, but I do it off a 5-minute chart. On the SPY, the Qs, the IWM, or the futures. This is what I've been able to do with this. This is my results, because I can't post these because they're too quick and I can't alert on them. But this is what I was able to do since this is July of 2024 right here. You see how many trades there are, but they produced really, really good profits. I've never had a losing month with the SPY Super System trades. But the thing about this is you're only going to have one trade on at a time, and it's going to be a very short duration trade. You need to watch it. Right, so that's for folks that would like to do intraday trading. This just continues with that information. This was 2024. This was October. SPY Super System trades, 48.31, 74.48 in the room. Now these do not include each other. These are completely independent of each other. This is what I did because I can't post these, but this is what a lot of traders in the room did using that strategy. And here's the actual posted trades, which if you followed them, this is what you would have done. Okay, and November, same thing. December, same thing. And here's the whole first quarter right here of last quarter, of last year. Right, so pretty nice number. Again, 24.6 on the SPY Super System, 17.7 on the trade room. Obviously, a lot fewer trades here in the room than on the SPY Super System intraday trades. Okay. All right. And again, this is just want to identify again, just so you can see, again, how we take these trades. Here was a trade here on the SPY Super System trade on the SPY, on the 5-minute chart, as it went from red right here to blue. This was before I even had the indicator on here, but there's the breakout right there, right? Breaks above the VWAP and the 15, rides it up. $220 profit per contract, which is a lot, by the way. That's unusually high. Usually it's not going to be that high. This was on the SPY Super System. Again, this was just 2 candles and out. Right? $90 profit. This one here, this was just using the same thing. This is using the modified layout in case anybody just wants to use that one. You can see right here when you get in as it breaks down, it's yellow. You write it down and you're out on this last candle here. Here it is off the new template. Then you buy it right here as it goes green. Pops up, you take it, you get out as it flattens out. This is a nice IWM trade, breaks below the VWAP. See the breakdown? Everything's red, institutions are selling. Okay, those are the SPY Super System trades for the 5-minute chart. These are trades that we took recently off of this was actually meant to be a swing trade, a line, but it turned into a day trade. As we took it right here, you see how it went yellow right here? Went from buying to selling. Right here at about 1040, take the trade as it breaks below the VWAP. See the pop out of the box symbol. Market was trending down. We took it here. We took 51% profit in an hour. I figured it was really no point in keeping it overnight with that much profit. This was URGN. This was a swing we took. See, we took it right here as it breaks compression. You see the compression break. Take it here, write it up here, 48% profit in about a week. This was an NVIDIA trade. I think I showed this one earlier. This was SMR. I showed that one earlier as well. Here's the Nike trade. We get in here, the 28th. As it was red, you see all the selling that's going on. So we take it there, and it kind of moves sideways. We had some profit here, and this is when the tariffs went on, broke down hard. This is where we took our big profit. I call it gap down. Any kind of a gap you get in a trade that you're in, gap is a gift, okay? And if you get a breakout on a bullish stock or a breakdown on a bearish stock in the morning, take the profits. All right. That was Nike. Right back here to Sarepta, another one that we had short that went good. And HMS, this was a long we took. Again, daily chart. This was a swing. See the nice move up here? See it green? Institutions buying the heck out of this thing. All right. All right. So that covers the charts. It covers the SPY Super System, how we find these trades, the indicators to let us know whether the institution's in the trade. I hope that was helpful for you. We've covered quite a lot on institutions as well as Hiken ashi candles. So hopefully that gave you the information to help you trade using Hiken ashi. So again, here's our strategies. We've covered this, right? Straight calls and puts, debit spreads, time spreads, credit spreads, and also the weekly ATM strategy, and the SPY Super System, which we take in the room quickly, but you're responsible for your own trades on those. All right. So this is the offer that we have right now for anybody who wants to partake, be a member of the room or the alert service, or buy the software. We'll talk about that. And I think in chat, by the way, there's links for the links for all of these. This is a one-time payment special, but if you can take a two-week trial, free one. All right, we get to the alert service in the room, and you also get to see all my videos, about 31 videos. And then it reverts to $396 a quarter after the 2-week trial. Now, if you're looking for a way to get into the room or the alerts for a lifetime, this is a lifetime payment right here. $24.96 gets you alerts for forever, and you also get the training videos, and you also get access to the private Discord chat room we've got 2 additional full-time professional traders in there for that one. Okay. Now this is the one that to me is a no-brainer. For $24.96, you can get the access to the trading room forever. You get the SPY Super System software forever, all with updates. You get that. Rightline will put it on your computer for you, no charge. You buy the software, they put it on. Make sure it's configured. It's going to look exactly like mine. You get any kind of updates to it as we improve it, and then you also get all the training videos, and you get the Discord room. $24.96 for a one-time payment for all this stuff, which to me this is like a no-brainer. Now, if you have if you want to talk to Rory about this, perhaps you only want to get it for a year or something like that, then you want to talk to Rory about that. And I'll give you his number in just a sec. Here it is, 786-732-4656. Okay, that's Rory. You can talk to him. And one thing I did a little return on subscription here. And this is a return on subscription investment. And I assumed that the maximum would be $1,600, which is if you took the quarterly for a year. That's about $1,600, a little less. The average trade size of 2,000, assume all trades are taken. The historical results every year, you get a 40 time ROI per year. So annual profits have exceeded 40 times your subscription cost. Pretty impressive to me. And subscription has consistently paid for itself many times over. Again, ROI, return on investment, simple math, and it's proven results. So this is what we've done so far. I go out, again, disclaimer, past performance is not indicative of future results. Trading involves risk, we all know that, but that's what it's returned. Right, so this is what the offers are. To get the two-week trial, or to get the alerts forever, or the room and the software forever. And again, you can talk to Rory for any modifications to that. All right. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing some folks back in the room on the alert service come Monday. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you very much.